Greetings and salutations and welcome once again to the Capeless Crusaders live at the time from the Safe House. My name is David Barry at Dr. Barry on varying social media platform. We are your number one, allegedly, podcast for anything comic book related, which is getting broader and broader. So we're not really limited like the critics say. I don't know if we actually have any critics that say that.
We might have one or two.
Anyway, I am joined, of course, by my Crusaders in arms.
Are we supposed to be doing that now?
We're going to go this way. We're going to left.
Hey, I'm Manderson at Son of Mander on Twitter, and I finally figured out how to use Instagram, and I have
Refigured
it out. I went back and I had like 5 posts from back in the day.
Yeah. In Washington?
In Washington. Oh, huh. Yeah, and it's been like 5 years since I used it, so I've posted more since being back.
Welcome to 2018.
Oh, it's good to be here.
It's good to be here.
Really
Scoot up. You make me look gigantic in this camera.
He's way back there.
That's not a camera effect. That's how it is in real life.
That's how small he is.
I'm a twig.
It takes away.
He is a normal-sized human being.
No, actually, I'm gigantic.
That's fun. Also, I feel like I want to say that even though we're live at the time, we're still alive when you listen to it. We didn't die.
Yeah.
I'm going to toss it over to...
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
To my friend over there.
Supposedly.
To my friend, Manderson. Is this the forehead of security? This is the Azorian one, Anthony Steves. Very obscure Tony Stark.
I got
Very
that
obscure.
one. That's good.
That was a pretty good joke.
Iron Man 3 when John Favreau called.
Yeah.
Is that what that was?
Happy's calling him on the FaceTime, but you just see his forehead, and Tony says, "Is this the forehead of security?" Because he doesn't know how to work the iPad. He's like holding it way too far up.
Yeah, it's kind of like this.
Yeah. Coffee mug effects. For anything related to the Capeless Crusaders, you can find it at thecapelesscrusaders.com. That is your number one hub for anything comic book and Crusader related. From there, you can get to our social media accounts, our Twitch, unless you're already here, our YouTube, if you're there in the future, contacting us from the past. You can read a blog or two. You can read some reviews. We have a review of the latest season of Flash, courtesy of the Son of Mander.
Nice.
We got some comic reviews on there. We got all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Or you can also support us. We have some news. We have a crying baby.
Yes,
you can also support us on our Patreon. Ooh. Patreon, if you want to throw some money at us because you think that we're worth a dang. I mean, I don't know. You might think you might think I'm a bad parent, but
no,
he's not a bad parent.
That's still the guy you were interrogating earlier.
Yeah. Exactly. So, on this week's episode, we're of course first going to thank our sponsors. Then we're going to go around the horn. We're going to talk about some comic books. We're going to talk about some news. And then our main topic, we have a reading assignment, courtesy of the Son of Mander.
Yeah.
We're back. Yeah, we haven't had a reading assignment in a while because, lo and behold, we talk about comics.
We do, yeah.
I don't know if you knew that.
So
we talk about comics?
Sometimes we read them. Sometimes we read them right before the episode.
What?
But our sponsors for the evening, first off, Empire's Comics Vault, your number one. I mean, there's a lot of good comic book stores in Sacramento, but it's our number one comic book store in Sacramento. You can get comics.
It's the best I've been to.
You can get hot sauce.
Ooh.
You can play with pugs.
You could.
Yeah.
The other thing you could do is you could go to Computer Booter and you could get some retro video games. You could get your device repaired. You could hang out in their video game lounge and play some video games as
do that
well.
VR. Do they still do VR?
They believe they sell the PlayStation VR.
Do they have a jingle? Computer Booter.
They do now.
All right.
I just came up with one.
You better make sure you get the
So
royalties.
here's what I want to know. There was already a message in the chat saying, neat hat. Whose hat?
Wait, which one?
Yeah.
Because of who it is, because it's Attack 4, I'm going to say it's yours.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Mine's old.
I don't. Yours is.
Mine's an old hat.
Nobody likes the A's. Go Cubs.
Sacramento podcast.
The guy, Sacramento podcast, who moved up to Washington and then moved back to California.
Go Cubs.
Go Cubs.
Were they in Seattle?
None of my. If I list off my sports teams, like none of those make sense.
None of them make sense.
Yeah.
So when we are in the safe house, which no one knows where it is,
You don't know.
the dogs do.
Got 'em.
When we are in the safe house, when we are surrounded by the comic books,
We are.
we like to go
Where?
around the horn.
Oh, look!
Still disappointed it's that sound effect, and we don't get to do it ourselves.
So
Still think the General Lee's gonna pop up all of a sudden.
yeah. Here's what I'm gonna do. Are you ready for this?
Uh-oh.
I need the two of you to run point.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I'm gonna go take a look at my baby, make sure she ain't dead.
Okay.
So
It doesn't sound like she is.
going
That's a baby
exactly.
crying?
No, that's someone.
Somebody
interrogating.
is just making sure the.
You'll never know
the
what the safe house
interrogation-
is.
The
So
torture.
take over on Round the Horn, boys.
Okay.
got it.
So, what did you read, Steve's?
Oh, so
I'm
there's
going
this,
to throw you. Do you hear that bus coming?
Yeah,
I'm throwing you in front of it.
It hit me big time. Hit me big time.
Also, attack 4. Yeah, this is a fantastic cat. I love it.
What am I reading? What am I reading?
Besides our reading assignment.
Yeah, you got me. I started the Avengers issue 1.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah, the new one.
Not this isn't it, but like
Yeah.
this is the prequel that.
Yes, that was the Free Comic Day prequel, right?
Free Comic
I have that one too.
Yeah.
But I read that. I didn't finish it, and I did listen to your guys' review on it, so that kind of
Spoiled it.
spoiled it for me.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm still gonna read it. I'm still
Did
going to read it.
we said spoilers somewhere in there, right?
You did. I keep listening past spoilers. It happens. I don't take direction well. But so far so good.
Yeah.
Enjoying it. It's got
Are they still in the box?
it's got my two guys. So I'm happy about that. Let's go. I like that.
Are those? Are those your two favorite comic book characters?
So my top 3 of Marvel.
Okay, Marvel. All right.
Marvel 3. Number 1, Tony. And number 2 and 3 have gone back and forth. Right now, 2 is Cap.
What's the third then?
And 3 is Matt Murdock.
Okay.
Daredevil.
All right.
Have that connection with all 3 of them. So I mean, the bad eyesight for Murdock. No, just kidding.
Not that bad.
Not
I mean,
that
you're wearing glasses.
I am wearing
as
glasses,
am I,
yeah.
so
Those are my 3 Marvel
right.
guys. Now, if you want
top 3.
DC,
No.
Oh.
Just
everybody.
yeah.
Number 1's the Bat.
Okay.
Batman. Number 2, this guy.
All right. Number 3.
Number 3.
Is it this one?
Number 3 is a battle right now with him and Superman.
Okay.
Those would be my battle right there for
All right.
third. Yeah.
I'm gonna say, they're not in the same order, but almost the same. No, that's not true. Superman, Wonder Woman, Cap.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that.
So, but Iron Man's in there. Batman's top 5. This is probably I don't know. It's top 5. Anyway,
I got kind of a thing for rich dudes trying to do good, I guess.
I mean, it's better than what a lot of rich dudes do.
It's true. Yeah, sadly.
We're talking about comics.
Yeah,
we got a live. What are we talking about?
We went on an off ramp.
He's
there
Canadian.
For a
A boot.
second. A boot. What are we talking about?
Talking about comics.
What did you read, man?
I did a reading assignments. That took up a lot of my time.
Yes.
But I went back and I know the New 52 gets a lot of flack. And I went back and started the Superman Wonder Woman title.
Okay.
Which they're coincidentally enough, probably not a coincidence, 52 issues.
What?
Yeah, who would have thought? I got through 1.5, and then my daughter started crying, and I had to stop. But
that's about right.
the reason I went back and did that is because a lot of people were upset, including my wife, were upset that Superman and Wonder Woman became a thing, and they were dating, and it's no, it should be Clark and Lois. Which yes, in the end, yes. But when you start that universe up, and they meet each other for the first time, the power and the ideals that they have, it makes sense that they end up together. And I wanted to see what that dynamic was like. And it's been 8 years, so spoilers. But the first thing that shows up is Doomsday, and so it's Supes and Wonder Woman versus Doomsday. But he's also still trapped in the Phantom Zone. So he is there, and then he fizzles out, and where'd he go? And they go and check, and he's in the Phantom Zone, and that's where I left off. I'm actually really excited just to get into it. The way they're telling the story is really interesting because they kind of start the first one.
Yeah,
they're fighting this crisis. They're in this crisis together, and then it cuts to them, and they're in their normal life doing stuff, which is for Wonder Woman, she's training, she's sparring with somebody, and Clark is Clark Kent doing newsy things.
Is he in the movie Newsies? Is he singing?
He's not. No, he doesn't have
Christian
the cool
Bale there?
hats. Sorry, Christian Bale does not.
He was in Newsies. He was in Newsies.
No, I got that. Yeah. No, I saw the movie. Attack 4. I'm assuming you're saying that you read Astonishing X-Men number 7
with the praise emoji.
Is that what that is?
Yeah,
I thought it was a high 10.
It's the
high 10.
High 10 praise. If you're from
Okay.
Miami, it's the U, Miami University. I mean, it depends on where you're from. It's true. That is the symbol
Yeah.
for it. Two things. One, they were upset that Superman and Wonder Woman got together.
There were a number of people that were.
Did
it
they-
breaks continuity, but I mean, they started over again.
Did they not read Kingdom Come when that
Yeah,
ends with Superman and Wonder Woman?
Yeah, there's a number of other stories
Together?
where they end up like
Having
even
a baby?
the Frank Miller Dark Knight. All of those, they're together. They have 2 kids in that one, so it's like it's been a thing here and there.
It's not the first time it's happened. I mean,
Injustice, they end up together.
Yeah.
But Lois is dead at that point,
Yeah.
so she's kind of his rebound gal.
and then secondly, every time I hear Phantom Zone, all I can think of was the cool effect from the Christopher Reeves movies when Zod and them would be stuck in the Phantom
And
Zone.
they're
With this glass thing
Yeah.
floating in air, and they're just pressed up against it and yelling.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
back
it
in
was.
the
Yeah,
day.
they're always doing this effect, yelling until part 2 when the nuke
And they're
that
silent,
Superman
yeah.
threw out. Now they
They're
just stopped and
silent.
they're watching it.
Oh, what's happening? Yeah. This is fun.
I love those first 2 movies.
Yeah.
Hey Barry, what'd you read?
Oh, he's not here. We have his list though.
Oh, we know what he read.
And one of them is on my list, so I don't know if saying it would ruin it. I did read Man of Steel #1.
He read all those. He read all those.
I read this and this.
Oh, you read those 2. Okay, all right.
But no, these are his lists.
Those are his. Wow.
So, should I?
He read a lot.
Yeah, he reads a lot.
It's like he's part of a comic book podcast.
It is like that. In my defense, I used to read a lot, and then I started preparing D&D for this group and another group, and that takes up a lot of time.
There was a time on this show when we had the full-blown Crusader library at our old mansion,
Yeah,
and your boy here took on the torturous yet entertaining task of reading like a week, 5 to 8 DCs and like 5 to 8 Marvels in that week.
yeah, that's hard to do.
I pulled it off, but it was taxing. Hey,
When you have kids, it's hard to do.
it
Oh,
is.
good.
It is. And then there was the Crusader mansion burned down. We lost the library.
Oh,
and it's been
perfect
different.
timing. We're just wrapping ours up.
my
And
turn?
what did you read this
It
week?
is your turn, actually.
Hey guys, lovely to see you. Did we already address what are we talking about?
Yes.
Attack 4 is reading, we believe, Astonishing
Yeah.
X-Men #7 and loves Miami University.
At the bottom, he says yes. So I'm assuming.
Do you?
Me, yeah.
I read X-Men Red, the annual list. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. I'm gonna sip some water.
Okay. Anyway, so for that one, just to give him some more time, they kind of recap old Jean Grey's. She's not really old, whatever. Her reentrance into our world and how she took on her current mission. David, what did you read?
Hey,
Y'all ready for this?
Jock jams.
I had that CD. I think I gave it
Yeah.
away or threw it
Jock
in the
jams.
trash or something.
Yes. So, what I read this week. You ready for this? Boom. No, that's Man of Steel #1. No Justice #4. Abbott
good.
1 through 4.
Oh, okay.
Warhammer 40,000 Deathwatch #1.
What?
Incredible Hulk 709 through 717.
Dear.
She-Hulk 159 through 163.
That's a lot.
What?
And our reading assignment, plus some that I forgot to add to my note.
Phenomenal cosmic powers.
No high five?
Itty bitty living space.
Yeah.
I read comic books.
Nice. That was good.
My excuses were given before you got
So,
here.
what did you like?
All of those. They were all
What
good.
didn't you like?
I'm actually really excited for the way all of those are going.
Nice.
No Justice wrapped up well. I'm actually excited about Man of Steel for once in my life.
Nice.
Abbott is one of the greatest comics that I've read recently.
Hey, Abbott.
Warhammers are always fun. The Hulks are all doing great things. That's
So this Incredible Hulk is the new guy.
I'm sorry, totally awesome Hulk. Yes, I was wrong. He's no longer like hulked out. That's the conclusion. The conclusion is he kind of like de-hulks, but he's still partially hulked.
Okay.
So he's the Rock.
Yes. Yeah, he's actually he is the Korean Rock.
Nice.
If he was green.
Okay, happens.
In comic books, it happens.
Exactly.
Bad tanning incident.
Exactly.
I don't think that's how that works, but
Ruru Jack Black never stopped being fat. Just saying. That's why I And Corthaniel the Brave, Corey from Nerd on the Podcast, is in the chat room right now.
My best friend.
Jesus, stop yelling about it.
My best friend.
God, we get it. God, I feel like I'm turning into Tom because you talk about it so
Best
much.
friend.
Anyway,
Are we all gonna have best friends on Nerd On? Is
No,
that how
just me and
that's-
Corey.
Okay.
Just me and Corey. We all hate Tom. So,
That's like
speaking
an unexpected turn.
speaking of comics,
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a.
Good. No segue.
Yeah, no segue.
No,
Alright.
just the.
But yeah, but we're gonna go into some news.
This just in.
Segues went out of style a while back, so it's
Yeah.
fine.
So first off, I'm probably gonna have to hop back out and go take care of the baby again. But so I'll hit the stuff that you guys.
Anderson painful.
Yeah, that you guys have stuff that you can talk
Yeah, we
about.
can talk about
But
things.
first off, in the big news, episode 100, it is coming.
Yeah.
It is 3 weeks away.
3.
If you're good at math, you know that 97 is close to 100.
Exactly. Episode 100 will be June 25th. It will be live on Twitch. It will be live at Empire's Comics Vault. You can come down and hang out and watch it. We're going to have everyone, almost. All of the original Crusaders, almost. Everyone, I don't know if Tom's going to be there. I know Drew's not going to be there. Justin's not going to be there. But we'll have a bunch of us. We'll all be there. We'll all be hanging out.
The return
The return.
of the Kryptonian.
Other news.
Wait a
The
second.
the other Kryptonian.
The other- okay.
The other Kryptonian.
Other news. If you're a big nerd like I am, Babylon 5 is now streaming on Amazon Prime Video.
Oh, sweet. All right.
You would appreciate that.
Yeah, I've never actually watched it, but I will now.
I like actors that are in it.
You
So you're gonna watch
like
it?
the creator.
Oh, that's Straczynski.
Mr. Straczynski.
Yes, yes.
J. Michael
Right.
Straczynski
Yes.
created it. It has a very similar feel to Deep Space Nine because it came out around the same time.
Yeah.
And there is arguing that it might have had a little bit of bleed over. Delan. Delan.
Yeah, do that every time.
And
Thanks, Corey.
the last bit of news.
Didn't Roddenberry have a hand in that too?
No.
He had a hand in one of those other ones. Maybe it was Battlestar.
I'd have to look it up. Oh, Battlestar.
probably.
And the last bit of news before I might have to hop out. It has been established via a comic collective on Twitter. The correct pronunciation of
Oh dear.
the Batman villain RA'Salghul. Because we have argued,
Yeah.
there have been people arguing
I still say Ra's al Ghul, but
Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul. So, Steves, what have you always said?
I have always been partial to the Ra's al Ghul, but I'm aware the way they've played it in the Arrowverse, how if you're from there, it's Raz, or it's Raish, but the Americanized way of saying it was Raz, as Oliver would call him Raz.
And why do you go by Ra's?
I feel like I don't know. It's more mysterious sounding. It kind of has more of a
Magician.
Oh crap! I don't want to mess with this guy because he's got this.
Oh,
kind of
okay,
name.
that's an interest. Okay,
Yeah, it's more intimidating.
So, the reason it is definitively, no matter what any of you say, forever, it is Ra's al Ghul, is because Ra's al Ghul was born 600 years ago.
Tell 'em.
To a nomadic tribe in Arabia.
Arabia.
No. Anyway, Arabian day. Anyway, so he was born in Arabia. He is an Arab.
Raz.
In Arabic, it is pronounced Ra's al Ghul, the head of the demon. Now, that is not to say Raish is incorrect, because Ra's al Ghul, Raish is the Hebrew pronunciation, and people do argue that because the creators of Batman and Ra's were of Jewish descent, that they would have said Raish. Now, none of this mattered until we had a cartoon in the 90s, and people actually heard it said, and they're like, wait, what? Because they've always just seen it or said it their own way.
Yeah, and then the cartoon took Raish, and then Nolan trilogy went the route of Raz.
I thought the cartoon was Raz.
No, they went Raish in in the animated series.
I'm watching it right now, so
He said Raish, yeah.
Okay.
And then Arrow did kind of what you're saying, the Arabic translation versus the Hebrew translation, where over there they say Raish, but in Star City they say Raz. But
It is Ra's al Ghul.
al Ghul. I'm so happy.
I don't think there's a rolled R, actually.
I will roll the R. I like roll. It's Raz al Ghul.
So you're saying it wrong.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Yeah,
just
everyone's
you
wrong
roll the
except
R.
for me. In other news,
I'm watching the trilogy tonight because of that.
because now I feel like
destiny.
I've heard the baby calm down, so now we can talk
The
about
guy stopped crying.
that baby,
interrogating.
that he's being a baby. Two pieces of news. That was the perfect segue.
Damn nerds.
Woo, because that's what we are. So, first off, Jamie Foxx.
Yes.
Didn't he used to go as Jamie Lee Fox? Or am I thinking of someone
You
completely
think of
different?
Jamie Lee Curtis?
Yeah, apparently I'm thinking of Jamie Lee
Isn't
Curtis.
there a Lakers player also named Jamie Foxx back in the day?
Maybe I'm thinking of
No,
Michael. Maybe I'm thinking of Michael
Rick
J.
Fox.
Michael
Rick
J.
Fox.
Fox.
Rick Fox
But,
Lakers.
but funny because speaking of Michael J. Fox,
Yeah.
Michael J. White, originally played the character that Jamie Foxx was just cast as.
Boom.
Well, there it is.
Character is that?
No. I just wanted to say all that. I don't care
Okay.
about the rest of it. Oh, I'm sorry. In Todd McFarlane's reboot of Spawn.
Flapping Kate.
There it is. Green energy, crackle.
Life of its own.
The post production on that's going to be great.
I
Dope.
am
What post-production?
excited.
I export it and then post it.
I am excited for this.
So, Jamie Foxx has been cast as Spawn in the Todd McFarlane, not just Todd McFarlane like approved, Todd McFarlane
In it.
writing and directing.
Oh, nice.
And he's working with Blumhouse?
Yes, who is basically producing everything that's coming out. Majority of what they're producing is horror movies. Like 2018 alone, there's 24 projects that Blumhouse is producing between
Wow.
film and television.
Do I know any that they've done?
It's like they did the Truth or Dare movie. They produced
That one that just came out?
They produced
that actually
that.
looked terrifying.
They produced that.
Okay.
They are producing the 40th anniversary Halloween film that comes out this October.
So you're all about this.
But literally between like
Are you a horror guy?
I'm not opposed to it, but it's not my wheelhouse.
Okay, I feel you. Okay,
between television, Netflix, Hulu, and theaters, Blumhouse is producing over the 24 projects this year alone.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's-
And
yeah.
Spawn is one of them.
It's a big one.
Yeah. I love Michael J. White, by the way, was
phenomenal.
not a weak point of that
God.
Spawn film in the late 90s.
And neither was John Leguizamo.
neither was John Leguizamo.
was great.
Their performances were great.
Yeah.
The story could have used a little work.
The story
but
it was limited, especially by the fact that it was the 90s.
I'll still watch it when it's on.
Yeah.
But Jamie Foxx, a guy who's done comedy, who's done action, who's done drama. The boy's got an Oscar. He was the first actor to be nominated for a Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor in the same year.
Did you know
I
that?
didn't know
He
that.
know
won
that.
for Ray. He was also nominated for Collateral. Tom
Oh,
Cruise.
yeah.
The guy can do it all.
The guy can do it all, which is hilarious because in interviews, Todd McFarlane has said Spawn is not going to talk.
That's what.
Yes.
It's like, hey man, I know you're a really good actor. I know you're really good at embodying these characters. I know you're really good at saying words, but don't. Shh. he wants Spawn to be like Jaws in the movie
This
Jaws.
is the element that's there. Yeah.
In the chat room, but Electro still sucked. You're not wrong. You're not wrong
right.
at
Electro did
all. That movie was a...
McFarlane is like so adamant in promoting that Jamie Foxx is the actor for this. He even put on his Facebook, "Here are the movies that made me love the
Right.
idea of Jamie
Right.
Foxx playing Spawn." He had Django Unchained.
Spider-Man wasn't on there.
Spider-Man was not.
But
on there.
Django was.
Django was on there.
Yeah.
Yes.
He said that Spawn is going to be more of a presence, more of a monster, and the main dialogue is going to be the police officers and the other characters
I'm excited
involved.
for it.
So I'm still stoked.
If they didn't tell us who was the actor, we would know.
Well, so you might so the blah, 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 let me use my words. So when Spawn's in his mask, you would have no idea.
Okay.
When Spawn's out of his mask and he looks like if Deadpool was run through a blender, you could tell, like when Spawn when he pulls back the mask in the original movie, I know that's Michael J. White. So
You look like a topographical map of Utah.
exactly, you look like if an avocado bleeped another avocado. If they go that route, if they have him taking the mask off, you might be able to tell.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if how they're gonna do it. Like, I don't know.
Also, here's the thing: if they say there's no dialogue for Spawn, that doesn't rule out flashbacks when he's not Spawn.
It's true. It's true. We could see Jamie Foxx playing Al Simmons, who is the mercenary who is sent to Hell and becomes the Hellspawn.
And former leader of the Nation of Domination. Different Al Simmons. That's Farouk.
Oh yeah, damn. Was he first WCW? First,
I think he was briefly
Black.
WCW.
Oh,
first
talking
Black
about wrestling.
World Champion, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Start
Ron
tuning
Simmons.
out. Let me know when we're back on comics.
We're back on comics.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
In other news,
So much news.
this is the cool one. We're gonna get to your comic, I promise.
I'm not worried about it. I mean, that's why we're here.
Madison, shift this news.
There's some news. This is actually, I don't know how I feel about this one. So there was rumors a few months ago. Have you guys ever read the comic Elephant Men?
No.
No of it. Never read it.
So Elephant Men is it's been a really long running Image comic. It's actually Todd McFarlane made the toys for it. That's actually what got me into it when I was a kid. The Elephant Men, they're not all elephants. Go figure. But they're all genetically modified human animal hybrids. And there's a small number of them, and it's their adventure. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. Elephants, rhinos, zebras, they got all kinds of different things.
Oh my.
So Elephant Men, there was rumor from the creator that he was planning on leaving Image Comics, and everyone's like, whoa, why? Like, why would you want to leave Image?
Where you going, bro?
He had no problems with Image.
Yeah.
But it's because he was tapped to join the latest publishing company to enter the foray of comics.
And who might that be?
That might be Comixology. Right?
Ooh, the app.
Right? Yes. So the digital, the ultimate, well, I'm not going to say ultimate, the largest online retailer of comic books, who was purchased recently in the last couple of years by Amazon, is now
Bezos.
wading in to the comic book, but it will be all digital. They will have no print books. It'll be all digital. Amazon throwing their money around, courtesy of Rue. That is exactly what it is. So Elephant Men and a bunch of other creator-owned books are going to be debuting on this new platform. Now, here's the cool thing. So say you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, okay? And you are in your Comixology, you got, access to some stuff because you have Amazon Prime. You know what the other thing you can do with Amazon Prime?
I heard something.
You can subscribe to us for free once a month using your Twitch Prime.
What?
Right? Completely unrelated. But you can still do that. Now,
We're talking about Amazon. It's fine.
yeah, exactly.
It's good.
Yeah, it's all about throwing money around. So now, I don't know how I feel about this because it's like a retailer, and I know retailers who have like small print, but it's kind of. It's interesting, like, are they going to have, like, is it going to be on their front page? It's like, hey, don't read Marvel and DC, read our stuff.
Read Comixology.
Yeah.
It's like, read Comixology's independent stuff. Not sure how I feel about it. I mean, it's also an awesome opportunity, because if you take out the printing fees, that could be huge.
And if you're one of those indie publishers, like, yes, please put us on the front of Amazon. Do that now.
Yeah.
Did you get one of those for all of us?
Nah. Are you guys sweating as much as I am?
Mine's been used already.
I'm like 5 times the size of all of you.
Oh.
That seems like a gross
Don't use that on the screen.
exaggeration.
Don't use that on the screen.
Yeah, no, that's weird. So thoughts? Do you care? Is it something you think is going to be good, bad, not?
I like the idea.
Moist? That word just came up after you. Good, bad, odd, moist? I don't know. It makes you kind of more. Anyway.
Thanks for that one, Ruru. I feel good about it overall, and mainly because it's for those people who they're trying to get their name out there, and maybe they right now they're writing their own stuff, and they have a friend who's pretty good artist, and they're doing it together, and they can get their name out there in front of a large audience and be able to do what they love to do and what they're good at doing on a larger scale, and then potentially get recruited by Marvel, DC, or Image or whatever, and get that steady paycheck. So I think it's going to be good from that standpoint.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully that's what happens with it. And even if that doesn't, if it's them doing their own books digitally through Comixology, they're getting their stuff out there.
Yeah.
And that I feel like that could only be good.
When I feel like the digital platform is in a lot of ways it is hurting printed media, which that's just the way of things. But so it's like they're kind of, rather than fighting it, they're kind of embracing it. They're like, hey, we're going to go all digital. Yeah. We're going to have creators creating only digital books, which, I mean, webcomics have always been a thing, but this is kind of a more opportunity for that. And the other thing is it brings in new opportunities for collaboration, because it this news was actually they broke it on a live stream on Twitch, because Twitch, Amazon, Comixology, all all owned by Bezos. So exactly, just throwing his money around, except when it comes to his employees.
Pissing off an administration.
Yeah, and also still pissing on his employees. He's just everything we want in a corporation and nothing we don't. So I think I'm with you. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be cool. I mean, Comixology Unlimited. I personally suggest you get a Comixology Unlimited subscription if you're really you want to read everything. You're not sure where to start. You can get so many options for Marvel, DC, Image. What are you laughing at? Taz one.
Oh, no, everything is serious. It can't talk. Everything you're saying is accurate.
Cut, take two.
Gives them more of the advertising that the DC and Marvel would have. Now you've got this powerhouse of Amazon behind you that can promote you as much as they want. I'm just now thinking of the idea, since I brought up administration. He gets so pissed off with Amazon having Washington Post and all that. I'm waiting for the tweet of, "Oh look, Comixology. I think they own the comics. Sad."
Trump being like, "There's comic books. I used to read Superman."
And then there's like hashtag right wing comics and puts it down. I'm just picturing that.
No, because he would definitely get involved with Comicsgate, and that would be bad for everyone.
Oh God,
that would be really bad. Let's not let it. Don't tell
Comixology, I'm after you.
Don't tell the president that comic books still exist. Just let him keep doing his thing. Keep him involved.
Oh, you mean peanuts?
And everything else. Are they debating in the chat the size?
I am minus 3 times most humans.
You're pretty small, dude. What do you weigh?
160.
160. Okay.
That's the bottom.
So
of
I'm
the
not.
normal
I'm not 2 times you then. I'm almost 2 times you. Regardless.
The math numbers are popping up over here.
So
really dense bones and so
exactly.
Yeah.
Built from a dwarf star.
What?
So like a hammer. So speaking of comics, that's just my segue for everything today.
I mean, because that's what we do.
Comics.
Yeah. Speaking of comics, that's what we talk about. So we had a reading assignment this week. I don't have a.
Wait, we did?
I don't have a. Yeah.
shoes.
I don't have a. I don't. Oh, you didn't read it?
I know. I read it.
Ooh. What? Look at that!
I didn't see you back there.
That's like the Truman Show.
That's kind of creepy.
That's the over-the-shoulder disappointment cam. Whenever I'm disappointed, I turn and look at the disappointment cam.
Like, would you be disappointed?
You know, the best part is I'm even disappointed in the video quality of the disappointment cam. It's a Microsoft camera back there.
Favorite feature.
You know what the best part about that
right
is?
there.
YouTube, you guys are going to get it. Audio, you have no idea what's going on right now. But you know what, audio? I still love you.
How do you've been with us since the
That's my
beginning.
new favorite head feature of the show.
So we had a reading assignment this week. That
You're like Elvis Presley.
yeah.
Late 70s at
my
one of
water
his
on
shows,
you.
midway through the concert right now.
Yeah, I'm really craving
love
peanut
from
butter,
Hawaii.
bacon, and fried bananas. So, Manderson, what was our reading assignment for this week?
We decided, and by we I mean I threw out, that we're going to read Reborn by Mark Millar and penciled, drawn by Greg Capullo.
Or Capullo.
Capullo.
We're not. Yeah, any of those.
Capullo.
I'm running
published by Image Comics. And should I keep going?
Well, it's inked by Jonathan Glapian. FCO Placencia did the color, and Nate Piekos did the lettering. And I wanted to list all those because most of those people go unnoticed when it comes to the creative team.
Yeah.
And
without
they are
them-
incredibly important.
Yeah, without them, we wouldn't.
I don't know.
Comics wouldn't be what they are. Especially that you and I have talked about the guys who do color and how like the tone that they can set with different color palette options.
Yeah.
So I think those guys are important.
Placentia. It's like a city.
Or like the thing that
thing that-
follows.
Okay,
birth of-
I was hoping we wouldn't get there.
So yeah, so it's published by Image.
Yep,
So
the Image.
6 issues.
Yeah.
It is it's called book 1, but
Yeah.
there's been no indication of book 2.
He's been working on other stuff.
Mark Millar he's pretty busy. Like he took all of his comics, all of his stuff, and he sold them to Netflix. So speaking of, Amazon being the Netflix and Comixology being the Netflix of comics, now Netflix is the Netflix of comics because they actually got stuff they're working on with Mark Millar.
And Lock and Key
Hopefully
also.
they do Reborn.
Yeah, they got all kinds of stuff going on. So, Mark Millar, of course, famous for Civil War, one of the greatest Marvel events of all time.
Mugs.
He wrote Kick-Ass, which had some decent film adaptations, but otherwise a great comic. Huck.
Yes,
Well,
there it is.
yeah.
My
Huck is
favorite.
one of my favorite. He's got all kinds of stuff. Starlight, all kinds of stuff. Of course, the great Capullo.
Man, come
I
on.
mean, what is he not doing? He's doing the covers for Justice League Dark.
Yeah.
Finally
Oh,
figured out why he was drawing Swamp Thing.
Yeah, me
and
too.
I'm really upset that he's not doing a Swamp Thing comic.
yeah.
He's doing the covers with Swamp Thing.
But maybe this will lead into that.
Maybe. He also just he wrapped up with Metal.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Greg, he's one of my favorite Spawn artists of all time. So 6 issues. Steve, you're the freshest. You just finished it.
Yeah.
How are you thinking? How you feeling? What'd you think?
Millar is, from what I remember, for the Civil War with Huck and with this. Shield's hard to drink out of this. He's very, very good at capturing human emotion in his story. He's
Bless you.
Those are coughs.
it's so much more emotional when Millar writes something. Like, it's not just these one-dimensional characters that got to go do something because the book says they have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a human drive. There's a human sadness or drama that's evil that's driving it. And there's things in there you can relate. As far out as the stories may be, you find things in there that you can relate to. And that's just a staple of his. And I this book was filled with that.
Why'd you pick it first off?
This was
More water.
the first non-Marvel DC book I ever bought.
Really?
Like, I went in and picked
Nice.
up. And I remember I read it digitally first, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna go buy this. And I walk in, and like, Ben, this is going in my box, and
Vodka.
it was just like the story was so interesting. It wasn't just like, hey, we're in this fantasy world and we're fighting bad guys and that kind of stuff. It wasn't like, it has that. I mean, it's in that setting, but the context and the plot behind it was a lot more interesting to me. And yes,
Speaking of plot, I feel like we should break it down real fast.
yeah. let's do
So,
it.
statute of limitations. This book was printed 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So deal with it. You also had a chance to read it because we posted about it before the weekend.
Yeah.
So Reborn focuses on our main character.
Barry breakdown.
Classic Barry breakdown. The main character,
doesn't work for me.
she's old, she's near death, she's smoking, she's in a stroke ward. And we come to find out that when she dies, she goes to this other place. We're introduced to this earlier on. And this other place is not in any way what any, at least that I'm aware of, cultures consider the afterlife.
Yeah,
It's not
same here.
heaven. It's not Valhalla. It's not Elysium. You're already dead. It's like Gladiator, right? No, yeah, Gladiator.
Right, gotcha.
So,
Although what they did do did echo in eternity. Yeah.
it's true. So she goes to this world where she is reborn in her 20s, and she's a warrior of some kind, and she meets her dad, who's also younger, and he's a warrior. They basically find out that if you were a good person in life, you go to the good side in this fantasy world. And if you're a bad person, you go to the south side of Chicago, like Ruru just said, which is actually kind of accurate. It is the Dark Land. It is an evil place. All the bad people go there. And they are basically kind of at war with each other. But we find out that there is the conflict is escalating, and they were waiting for her because she's the queen. She's the one who's prophesized to end the great evil. What's his name?
Golgotha.
Golgotha. And as she goes through it, she basically realizes, like, she meets like friends from when she was younger, family members, her husband who passed away, who had remarried. Yeah, that was a tough one. Her dog. It turns out that all pets become our guides in life.
Which now
All pets
makes
go.
me think twice about neutering or spaying in the
I know. Yeah. So it's kind of yeah. Exactly. That is exactly it.
Dogma.
Good reference.
But But yeah, and so she's entered into this battle where she must learn to become a warrior, which she's apparently gonna just get those abilities over time. She wants to find her husband. She wants to stop this evil. And things happen.
Yeah.
That's the story. Thanks for tuning in.
I sometimes when I try to keep it short, it's
go.
bad. I wanted to talk to you guys for 20 minutes.
All right, so short story, 1 hour later. And then...
And then in issue 2...
Yeah, so I mean that's why it was just like she's on death's door at the beginning, and
Right.
all of a sudden, and they make an interesting point, and it didn't hit me the first time that you don't always show up young. Like her best friend, who's ends up being the fairy queen, her husband, when he died, he showed up on the good side, but he showed up old and then
Right.
died before she made it.
Right, which is interesting.
And I was thinking about it because to jump to the end, they show the next life, and they're back together, and they're both young, and it made me wonder, like maybe he wasn't meant for that world.
Right.
He was meant for the next world, and there's something in there that's for him. And this one, you have to pass through here to get to the third life. We'll refer to as that, sure.
Right.
And book 1, I'm wondering if book 2 is going to lead us into that
Right.
third life, or if we're going to stay here, or if it's going to whatever.
Well, I feel like another book could easily delve into another bad guy, because we find out that this great evil, Golgotha, is in life, he was actually the person who murdered the main character's dad. So husband?
Yeah,
My bad. You're
Her dad
right.
had a heart
Yeah.
attack.
Yeah. Sorry. So her husband was killed by this sniper, and he was a mass murderer who shot a bunch of people from on top of a building and then killed himself. So he is like the ultimate evil, like leading these evil armies, and he killed like
10 people.
yeah,
maybe.
like 15 tops.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's a bad guy, but the leader?
That got me thinking about something else.
Okay.
Because everybody, like, when she arrives, everybody's like, we were in kindergarten together. Oh, I was your ice cream guy at this place.
Oh, you
so,
think there's
like,
catered.
I think it's...
To your line.
Like, they're like in a specific region.
Right.
And this region has a good and a bad. And so there's multiple regions. And so you're going to be near people that died and lived where you lived. And so
Right.
you're going to be surrounded by people that you're familiar with.
in your community, in your life,
Yes,
basically.
so it's still a community thing.
Okay.
And you can venture out because as if you've read it, it's obvious that they're moving outside of the spot that they were dropped off, where everybody they know is. But it still seems like there's like this line between the good and the evil in this region. And so I think that's why it's not. I think we were talking before we went live. Why the ultimate evil isn't like Hitler or something like that.
Right. That actually makes a lot of sense.
So
That it's a good point, Manderson.
Hey,
I have them sometimes.
good job.
Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah, man. So, favorite parts. Was there anything that really like got you? Was there like a panel, a page, a specific moment that you were like, yes, that was awesome?
But
I can think the first thing that comes to mind, and it maybe not like my most favorite part, but one of the more fun parts of it is when they get captured and they're tied to this post, and the guy who is taunting was like, "Those are stronger than what." Her dad's like apparently super strong, like stronger than you can break out of. And, and she doesn't have her powers yet. And the main character says, "Hey, Dad," he said, "the chains are unbreakable, but the post is not."
Right.
And he just like pushes up with it and lifts it out and starts running with this post on his back. I was like, that is so awesome that like that could happen, and like it gets them free and they're able to escape, and then that leads to more disaster. And that was just like a really creative way to be like, oh no, we're captured, how are we going to get out of here? And she could all of a sudden manifest her powers and get him out, and that's not how they solved that problem. She's like, oh, I have this idea, and go. And it showed that she was more than just somebody who was going to show up, have these powers, defeat the bad guy in hand-to-hand combat, and maybe be close, or maybe she just like, you know what, bam, right in the chest.
Right.
There was some intelligence to the way that she thought about things.
We also come to find out that the reason her powers take so long to manifest and never quite manifest is because she's not actually dead yet. She's dying, and she's like holding on the other side.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a good
yeah.
was a good little bit.
I kind of would think. I think it was book 3 where she has like her action scene when she's taking everyone out. First thing all I could think of was Matrix when Trinity has her own action scene, and for some reason all I can think of was Matrix score as she's just wiping everyone
People,
out,
yeah.
handling
Right.
business.
That's like the first time she realizes, like, oh, I have these powers.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
Dad, I got this. And
person
she's just
to
like,
person, just
Yeah.
wiping
Right.
them out and everything. That was a really well done panel, I thought.
I think the probably the funniest thing about this whole book, so we find out the pets like become your guides in this place. So her dog from when she was a kid is the one who like guides her and like helps protect her and guides her to her husband and all these places. But because she neutered her cat, he is the he's like the general of like the evil side. It's like, here's this dude who murdered a bunch of people, including her husband. Here's her cat who's angry about being neutered, and his name is
went with them to the other world.
yeah, and his name is Frost, and he like has like ice abilities. I think that was just so ridiculous and great that it's like, that's it. That's why you've joined the evil side as their general, because she cut off your junk.
Yeah.
And
how would you feel if somebody did that to you?
well, and why would she? You know, she didn't know at the time that she was doing anything wrong. Like, that's what you do. You spay and neuter your pets.
Not anymore.
That's what Bob Ross told. Not Bob Ross. Yeah, that's what Bob Barker told us to do.
Well, now
Bob Ross too. Who
Back
knows?
of your head now.
Yeah. Who
If I
knows?
die, someone's gonna get me.
The answer is to don't have pets. Have kids instead.
Imagine this world with Game of Thrones characters.
I don't know.
No, that gets gross.
Yeah.
This is already a weird book.
Yeah.
There were people bathing in blood and stuff. And it was, lovely.
Yeah, there was some. What was your
Type O
favorite part?
negative.
that her cat was the bad guy. I'm going to be honest. Are you ready for this?
Oh, sorry.
I love Mark Millar. I love Greg Capullo. I love Image Comics.
Love.
This story to me wasn't bad. It was very predictable, though. By halfway through, I knew exactly what was going to happen. And not even in like I know it's going to happen at the end, but there might be some twists and turns down the way. I'm like, okay, they're going to get captured. She's going to find the husband. Husband's going to be with someone else. Like, the blah, blah, blah. And then even the only twist that I didn't see coming was the fact that she was actually still alive, dying, and then allowed her family to let her go, and that is how she comes back and kills him. But other than that, it was a pretty predictable story. Like, and I guess it's not a bad thing, you know. Like, just because a story is predictable, like,
It's bad,
yeah, there's always like hero stories where you're like, oh yeah, this is gonna happen, then he's gonna get this, and then he's gonna be, and then he's gonna win.
Yeah.
Yay! So, I think it was a really good book. I think Millar has done better. Not to dash your choices. Sorry, I didn't whip you with that.
Disappointed camera.
Yeah, disappointed. So yeah, so I like I said, I thought it was a really good story. It was just predictable for me.
What about bad moments? That's for you as well.
Bad moment.
Yeah, anything you didn't like. I think the part that I liked is probably also I liked that the cat became the general because she got him neutered.
Frosty.
That was also kind of like the cat got neutered and now it's gonna go on like a murderous rampage with his ice powers.
How dare you?
Okay, like I didn't, and the fact, once you described this idea that it might be like kind of your community, that makes more sense. But I think up until then I was kind of like, why is this sniper guy the ultimate evil? Like, hey, he killed a lot of people. Make him like a general or something. Like,
right.
I'm sure there's people that have done worse things to more people, but there's just something about him and his need for cruelty to her family, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, because if you're thinking world at large, you might even think that Lucifer or something like that would be like the main bad guy, and that there'd be something or some sort of ultimate evil being in any other pantheon of gods. Would be that person. So I hope that, to me, that leads more to more interesting stories potentially in book 2 and book 3 if there's more that come.
Tiny Tim.
What?
No, not a bad guy. Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, you mean the guy with the ukulele?
Yeah.
Oh,
Very random.
Why would Tiny Tim be a bad
As
guy?
random as the cat with neutered nuts.
I mean, no, like that like makes sense. Like you took off my genitalia, you murdered a bunch of people. Yeah, how's that evil? He gave us a bunch of music for
See
SpongeBob.
it coming.
That and I guess him the cat General Frost, aka Frosty, being the general only makes sense because she is the prophesied
She's the focal.
savior.
She's the focal point.
If she just like showed up and was like, "Hey, we're in the middle of this battle," and she found her way into defeating Golgotha, it wouldn't make as much sense. But her being prophesied as the savior,
Yeah,
it does.
Was there anything you didn't like?
Steve, you got something?
I feel like this book matters too much to you.
No, there's something in that.
Oh,
that
okay.
I don't.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I don't know.
we were kind of talking about it before.
Predictable points, yeah,
Oh,
but didn't like. No, I don't think there was anything I didn't like about the book.
No?
Yeah, there was predictable moments, of course. Yeah, but I didn't find anything I didn't like.
I never felt like there was like a wow, like that was just bad. Like there was never like a joke where I was like,
what is this?
Or like a scene that was like overly graphic or like overly like something like unnecessary. Like I felt like it was overall, like I said, strong story. But Manderson,
So
you picked it.
Yeah, book the beginning of the sixth book,
Okay.
sixth issue. They reveal that Golgotha is the guy who killed her husband and a bunch of other people. But the way they do it, it's just like this hooded figure, and it's eyes and a mouth.
Cheshire Cat style.
Yeah, and he's just like smiling as he's doing it, and it looks like mildly menacing, like you would put it in a Saturday morning cartoon type of menacing.
Yeah.
And that just the way they depicted that's the only thing that I got to. I was like, oh, okay.
Did you hear a giggle in your head too when you saw that part? That's what I saw.
To me, it looked. We talked about this before. It looked like classic Capullo, Greg. It looked like classic Greg C.
GC.
Because like it looked like a bunch of like villains that he made in Spawn back in the 90s. So
And maybe he was doing a callback to that.
maybe that could be.
Like I get that maybe they were, if they drew his face, he would look like Golgotha, and so let's not do that to kind of keep it more of a mystery.
Yeah,
But
like this guy was just like this hooded figure, and now he's this monster.
yeah, I feel like you can do like the hooded thing and maybe just like show a glistening of eyes and not the mouth, and that would have been
Probably more sinister.
But there weren't any like plot points or anything like that I didn't like. I feel like she was, as a character, she was very creative.
Yeah.
In the way she even like the wishing when they took him to
the black mountain or whatever.
yeah, and she's like, I wish you were all dead, and it kills all the bad guys. I'm like,
that was
all
actually a really cool moment. I
Yeah.
actually really dug that. So it was sorry, I'm flipping through real fast looking for something.
this is on the issue one, so I don't know how.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
But yeah, the way, because it was it only did negative wishes. So you had to you had to wish for the chains to be like away, like destroyed. Like you could only wish for bad things because she just wanted all these good things to happen, and they were not giving her those. I can't find what I was looking for in the first issue. Ha!
Keep going.
Nah, you're good. Never mind.
Sure, is that part right there?
Yeah, where they at the end of the issue where they're all happy together.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, I think this was a wonderful choice by you. So I looked this up. What do you guys think if there's going to be a film or TV adaptation?
I would go with film.
Yeah.
I think if they tried to do a series, while there's good content for that, there's not enough content, and I think it would ruin it. But a movie would be good for this.
I just have to real fast. Hello, resurrected butt. Welcome to the chat room. I like your name. Yeah. So you think it would do well in film?
Well in film, yeah.
What do you think? He's got to follow. Hey.
Yeah, probably film.
Yeah.
Whether or not theatrical or like Netflix, Hulu.
Right. Or like
type
HBO,
film.
yeah.
Probably, yeah. I'd say Netflix.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You're all wrong because it's not getting any of those.
Good.
There is no intention of it being optioned for a movie or for a TV show.
That's too bad.
But it did get a book.
Oh!
A novel.
It got a novel.
Pictures.
Someone adapted it. Yeah. There's been a weird trend recently of comic books being adapted into novels, which doesn't make any sense to me at all. Like, I've never looked at the Hellboy like novels and been like,
I want a book.
I want to read that book, not that comic book.
Remove these pictures now.
Can't get rid of this beautiful art. I need just words.
Just give me the words.
And I'm not saying books are bad. Like, I like reading a good novel.
I want to paint the picture.
But me. But yeah, so it has no intention of getting an adaptation. Mark Millar hasn't said anything about it. I think it's because Millar is so heavily focused right now on the Millar World stuff that Netflix wants him to do.
I can see that.
He has the Magicians.
Yes.
The Magic Order. The Magic Order is the it's like a, I can't tell if it's a motion like digital book or if it's a print book or if it's like a Netflix series that has a book to go along with it. Like, it's interesting. I'm looking forward to it. It looks good. But yeah. Closing thoughts on Reborn.
That does not help.
That's thumbs
We
up.
got 3 thumbs up.
And then everyone on podcast just heard.
All the audio people are just like,
I heard a chair
what's
make
happening?
a noise.
Jingling.
What's happening?
And
So,
a laugh.
out of 10, what would you rate it, Manderson?
I would give it a 9.
Steve's.
8.
I will give it an 8 as well. So overall, it's a good book.
Yes.
So you should go read it. It's available. It's a collected volumes. It's available at your local comic book store, like Empire's Comics Vault.
What? That one?
If you're in Sacramento, if you're coming through, if you're visiting, they're wonderful things. It's probably on Comixology.
What?
Hey.
Amazon.
Yeah, owned by Amazon. If you want to throw more money at
Amazon.
Bezos.
And if you're a Prime member.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Yes.
No.
You have a daughter.
Go ahead.
I do.
How did you, the father-daughter adventure thing, did that do anything for you at all? Because I don't think my
Halloween
daughter was
costume.
born yet when this came out. But afterwards, I'm like, oh man, father-daughter stuff. And it kind of,
Halloween
some of the
costume.
hit me a little bit closer to the empty void from how it used to be.
Dress up.
So, because my child is only 5 months old,
Not yet.
no.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fair.
there's like moments that I see in like TV and movies between like a dad and daughter, and I'm like, oh, that'll be nice to have that. This idea that like when you die, you go to this fantasy realm and to do battle with evil. I was not like, oh, can't wait till me
Can't
and
do-
Morgan
yeah.
do that. Like, it didn't have that effect on me.
That's fair.
But we'll see. I mean, who knows? Maybe as time goes on, more stuff will affect me like that.
To die would be a great adventure. Hook. Peter Pan.
Oh, okay, I was wondering. I'm like, what are you saying? So overall, we recommend the book. You should get the book.
Yes.
Should, yeah.
Yes.
And Resurrected Butt said now they just need to make the Game of Thrones comic book to reverse the effects.
There it is.
The Game of
Ooh.
Thrones comic books are awful, and which bums me out because you have such good source material, and it's not being.
Pai Mei.
It's not going well at all. In my opinion, the Game of Thrones books are kind of crap.
Ruger with the Kill Bill reference there. Nice.
Oh yeah, I was
Send
wondering.
her to Pai Mei for
Oh,
training.
there it is. Yeah, drink break for everyone. Drink break. So
Water, so good.
this is all vodka. That is about gonna wrap it up for this week's episode.
You'd have to drink it all after you open the bottle, otherwise it goes bad.
Okay, I
It's
didn't.
Arrested Development reference.
Got it. Those dudes are in hot water. Anyway, so that about does it for this week's episode. My name is David Barry at Dr. Barry on varying social media platforms. To my right, we are joined by
The Azorian one, Anthony Steves, who is reborn.
it's cute, but actually Captain America was the only one that was actually no, Tony Stark is. They didn't name it Reborn, but he's back, so we'll give you that. Hey man, who are you?
I'm Manderson.
Hi, Manderson.
At Son of Mander on Instagram and Twitter.
Where's your mug?
Last comment in Resurrected Butt said they just need more nudity to hide the bad writing in the book. That would probably do better because that's how the show did it.
Nobody bought me a mug, so.
Oh.
Hey, our sponsors, Empire's Comics Vault, comic book store. Hey, Computer Booter, local computer repair, retro game lounge, and retro video game store. They got some VR. You can go in there and hang out. Not
there.
joining us.
They're right there.
I can see that, thank you, yeah.
Amy,
It's right above my head.
I Jane, you robot on varying social media platforms. Tom at Tall Dark Not Ugly on everything. And Curtis at Skipintosh, and I
Skipintosh,
think he's
yeah.
changing it across the board. So I think it's only Skipintosh on everything.
Nice.
That's what I
think there's a uniformity now in there. Next week,
I'm excited about next week.
next
On
week,
next week's
Yeah.
show.
same Crusader time, same Crusader place. We're going to be talking about
The oldest. The first.
Superman. Oh, sorry, you were doing the thing.
I was trying to do
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Yes, it's Superman. So, next week's episode 98, is going to be Superman Superman 101. If you've ever had any questions when it comes to Superman, I probably can't answer all of them, but there's a good chance we can talk about,
We'll talk about a lot of
most of it.
We're
We're going to talk about the...
core storylines that you may want to know about.
Yes. Oh,
The origins.
the main stories that we think you need to read, the historical origins of the character, its publication history.
Oh, there
it is. Okay.
That was a good. Go. Thanks. That's good.
Yeah.
Titles flying at the screen.
Jesus. Yeah, you leave something for next week.
Sorry.
Next week, the screaming in the background is not going to be an anonymous person. It's going to be
Steve
Steve.
screaming.
Unless you're trying to find the safe house.
So next week, episode
Then
98,
you'll be joining
Superman
Steve's.
101. Be there for anything related to the Capeless Crusaders. You can find it at thecapelesscrusaders.com. That is your hub for everything comic book related.
That's right.
We were reviews of Action Comics 1000. Both of those are up there. You can get that in preparation for the Superman bit. You can do other things. We're not going to do the music again. Hey, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for, if you were in the chat, if you liked what you saw, drop a follow. You can hit the sub button and give us a little bit of money. That's my dog barking, indicating it's time to get going. So, for the Capeless Crusaders, good night.
Bye.